You're lying in bed, but your mind is wide awake. You're not solving anything. You're just cycling, replaying conversations, imagining worst-case outcomes, judging what you said, what they meant, what might go wrong. And you tell yourself, I just need to figure it out. But that's the trap. Because the truth is, you're not overthinking to solve, you're overthinking to feel in control, and it's not your fault. Your brain isn't broken, it's trying to protect you with the only tool it knows: mental rehearsal. But here's the good news: you can retrain it, you can stop the loops, and you can start thinking in a way that actually helps you move forward. Let's break it down. Overthinking happens when your brain feels uncertainty and interprets it as a threat. It doesn't care if you're actually in danger, it only knows that something feels unresolved, so it starts looping. That's the Zeigarnik effect. Unfinished tasks, especially emotional ones, take up more mental space than completed ones. But when you're dealing with trauma, anxiety, or identity wounds, your brain can't find a completion point. So it keeps spinning. It's not doing this to torture you. It's doing this because somewhere deep down, you were trained to believe, if I think long enough, I can stay safe. Overthinking isn't a thinking problem, it's a regulation problem. The moment your nervous system gets activated, your brain goes into hyper-control mode, trying to analyze, predict, perfect. That's why no amount of just stop thinking about it works. You're not in a logic state, you're in a protection state. Overthinking is your mind's way of trying to pre-feel pain before it happens, so it can prepare for it. But in trying to avoid pain, you end up rehearsing it over and over, which makes your body believe it's already happening, and that keeps you stuck. Let's be honest, overthinking doesn't just waste time, it erodes your confidence, it hijacks your energy, it disconnects you from the present, and worst of all, it convinces you that you're the problem. You start thinking, why can't I just let things go? What's wrong with me? Why does my mind never shut up? But let me be very clear. Overthinking is a learned survival response. And if it was learned, it can be unlearned. If this is landing, if this sounds exactly like your nights, your mornings, your quiet moments, hit like and subscribe. This channel is where we stop judging our patterns and start rewiring them. You're not overthinking because you're broken. You're overthinking because your brain is trying to protect you. Let's teach it a better way. Before you address the thoughts, you have to address the body. When you're in a loop, your nervous system is usually in fight or flight, or freeze. And no productive thinking happens from that state. So here's what to do instead. Pattern interrupt. 90-second reset. Sit or lie down. Inhale for 4 seconds through your nose. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale for 6 seconds through your mouth. Repeat for 90 seconds. You're not solving the thought. You're reclaiming control from your body. Once your system downshifts, your brain starts to re-enter executive function, where real logic lives. This isn't woo. It's biology. Remember, overthinking happens when your mind can't close the loop. So instead of trying to silence your thoughts, give them structure. Try this framework. Label, validate, close. Let's say you're overthinking a conversation. Label it. I'm replaying this because I feel misunderstood. Validate it. That's okay, it mattered to me. Close it. I can't change the past. I can choose how I move forward. This doesn't mean you suppress. It means you witness the thought instead of living inside it. You let it complete. Your mind needs an ending. Give it one. One of the sneakiest parts of overthinking is future projection. What if they ghost me? What if I fail? What if this ruins everything? These questions trap your mind in imaginary futures, and your body reacts as if they're real. So the shift is simple but powerful. Ask yourself, what is true right now? Even if it's small. Right now I'm safe. Right now nothing is happening. Right now I'm sitting in a chair, breathing. This grounds your awareness in the present moment, where your power lives. The brain needs focus. so give it one that actually serves you. Overthinking usually peaks at night and when the world goes quiet, and your brain gets loud. So don't wait until you're drowning in thoughts to deal with them. Build a nightly off-ramp. Here's a simple 3-minute version. Write down your top 3 looping thoughts. For each one, ask, can I take action now? If no, write, I'll revisit this tomorrow at... Close the journal. Do something sensory. Light stretching, warm shower, soft music. This tells your brain, I've seen the thought, I've acknowledged it, now it's time to rest. It gives your mind permission to stop performing. I used to think overthinking made me insightful, but really, it made me exhausted. I replayed arguments from 10 years ago, imagined being abandoned in 50 different ways, second-guessed every message I sent, every word I said, and I told myself it was just how I am. But one night I realized I wasn't actually thinking, I was surviving. My brain had learned to scan for danger and that became my baseline. So I started practicing this. Breathe first. Label the loop. Close it with truth. Return to now. Some nights it worked, some nights I forgot, but slowly, my thoughts stopped feeling like threats, and my mind started feeling like a place I could live in, not run from. You don't need to think less. You need to think differently. You need to stop performing safety in your head and start creating safety in your body. Overthinking is a pattern, and all patterns can be rewired. You don't owe the world constant self-doubt. You don't owe your past a lifetime of mental rehearsals. You owe yourself peace, and it starts with this: a breath, a question, a truth. What's the thought loop that takes up the most space in your mind? Drop it below. Sometimes naming the loop is the first step to closing it. This video is for educational and motivational purposes only, and is not a substitute for professional mental health care. If you're struggling, please reach out to a licensed therapist or healthcare provider.